Welcome to Sirah Farm, where we teach you various types of agriculture. So today we will talk about how to determine if the oxygen level of the water in your fish pond is enough. After watching this video, if you have any questions about the video, you can drop it in comments section and I will reply you immediately. Please, I want to subscribe to this channel and may God bless you. You can also send messages on WhatsApp, Facebook, Gmail, because we want to know you and be a partner with you. Our contact is on the description and comments section. Let's start the video. In order to know if the oxygen level of the water in your fish pond is enough for the fishes, you need to observe your pond every morning and evening. Only then you will know the oxygen level on your fish pond. If early in the morning and late in the evening, the water in your pond is full of lot of air bubbles, then the oxygen level is low and it is most likely that there is immediate need for you to change the water and pump in fresh water. Oxygen is responsible for a great amount of natural and biological processes, thus, it is essential for all life. If you have a fish pond, your fish will need oxygen to survive. Fish, much like mammals, absorb oxygen into their bloodstreams and tissues to be used in important cell functions. Causes of low pond oxygen levels. Various factors can contribute to low pond oxygen levels. The most common cause is often a combination of high pond water temperatures and algae. Whether we're talking ponds or not, dissolved oxygen levels are naturally lower when water temperatures are higher. Therefore, in summer, ponds also have low oxygen levels. The problem is that summer brings with it a combination of sunshine and increased organic nutrients that encourage algae to grow. As a plant form, algae are known to produce oxygen. However, during the night, because of the lack of sunlight, to conduct photosynthesis and respire, algae consume the oxygen contents in the pond instead, further reducing pond oxygen levels. The appropriate amount of pond oxygen. As mentioned before, oxygen concentration levels in ponds are naturally low. Rarely will a pond have more than 10 ppm, parts per million, dissolved oxygen concentrations in its water. Compared to an average 200,000 ppm oxygen concentration in the atmosphere or air we breathe daily. However, pond oxygen levels ranging between 2 to 3 ppm are where concentrations truly become hazardous to pond life, causing fish to become susceptible to stress and disease. Most fish will start to become stressed when oxygen levels drop below 3 ppm, while concentrations below 2 ppm are deadly to some species. One of the most common signs of stress to look out for is fish gasping for air at the surface of the pond water. Although it generally depends on the state and size of any individual pond, it's best to have at least 6 mg per liter of dissolved oxygen in any body of pond water. This ratio will keep pond oxygen levels well above the dangerously low ppm concentrations mentioned above. How to measure or test pond oxygen levels. It's important to test oxygen concentrations to ensure you have healthy pond oxygen levels for fish to thrive, stress and disease-free. While there are common signs that might indicate your pond having insufficient oxygen levels, we highly recommend using a specific dissolved oxygen test kit. Follow the test kit's precise instructions for accurate measurement of oxygen concentrations. Accurate measurements are important because if you remember, even a small drop in dissolved oxygen from 3 ppm to 2 ppm is there a difference between dangerous or deadly pond oxygen levels. Get Sirah Farm Fish ebook in the description and comments section. This is ebook Talk How to Hatch Fish in Any Weather and also the ebook Talk Feed Nutrition and Disease Management. So you don't have to worry if you are a beginner or you are planning to start fish farming business. Get Sirah Farm Fishery ebook in the description and comments section. How to increase dissolved oxygen levels. Fortunately, there are various straightforward ways to either combat the depletion of or introduce more oxygen into a pond and prevent low oxygen levels. First, it's important to understand how oxygen becomes dissolved in water. Oxygen particles dissolve into the water simply by coming into contact with it. Therefore, to introduce more oxygen into a pond, there needs to be more water coming into contact with the oxygen in the atmosphere. The surface of pond water is always in contact with the atmosphere and will, therefore, have the highest oxygen concentration. This explains why fish swim near the surface of a pond in times of oxygen shortage. However, this also means that the majority of the water deeper within the pond does not have access to oxygen particles. In order to increase the oxygen levels throughout the volume of pond water, you will need to increase the surface area that comes into contact with oxygen. There are three main ways this can be achieved. 1. Increase water movement. Create movement in your pond by adding or turning on a water fountain or waterfall. Movement within a pond increases the surface area of water that comes into contact with oxygen. Thus, more oxygen particles can dissolve into and concentrate the pond water. Ideally, the water fountain or waterfall would be at a good height to allow enough time for enough oxygen to be absorbed into the water as it falls into the pond. 2. Add a pond air pump. Another simple way to oxygenate pond water is to add a pond air pump. Air pumps help to introduce oxygen deep within the water. Pond keepers often mistake the bubbles generated from air pumps as the oxygen content themselves. Rather, the bubbles work to aerate the pond by encouraging movement and increased surface area exposed to oxygen. Get Sirah Farm Fish ebook in the description and comments section. This is ebook talk how to hatch fish in any weather, and also the ebook talk feed nutrition and disease management. So you don't have to worry if you are a beginner or you are planning to start fish farming business. Get Sirah Farm Fishery ebook in the description and comments section. 3. Add pond oxygen stones. Similar to and used alongside air pumps, pond oxygen stones also work by supplying air bubble into the water. Again, this increases pond water movement and surface area, maximizing the potential for oxygen particles to dissolve into the water. Do you have any questions, suggestions, or other contributions? Kindly use the comment box provided below for all your contributions. You are also encouraged to please kindly share this video with others you feel can benefit from this information if found useful enough, as we may not be able to reach everyone at the same time. Thank you so much for sharing.